Hi guys. Welcome to the very first episode of the Never Offline podcast. Sorry to interrupt your regularly scheduled programming, but me and Morgan Rule just wanted to give you a little bit of context before you start this episode.
So, throughout the episode, we mention this little thing called Strike Magazines, and you're probably like, what the heck is Strike Magazines? Because we had to cut some stuff out. Anyways, Strike is a public fashion culture magazine that started in Tallahassee, and we write for the Boca Raton chapter. That's how we met, and we basically just go into like a little bit of the Strike lore. Actually, a lot of the Strike lore that kind of relates to us.
Is Strike lore,
but we had to just change some stuff. No worries. It's still a very fun, very cool episode.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Because we know a lot of you guys are Strike listeners, but also a lot of you guys are not. So we just wanted to do that so you guys aren't just confused. Especially since this is the first episode.
Yes.
So thank you for bearing with us. And listen till the end because we have some surprises coming for you.
Oh, period.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Enjoy.
And this is our
very first episode.
This is our introductory episode. We'll start with me. Hey, my name is Morgan Rule.
Hi guys, I'm Kim,
and this is our child Never Offline. Super fun, super exciting. And
we're
this
so
episode
excited.
is just going to be introductions and the lore of how this podcast started, because it's been a journey and a half.
No, like we're gonna get into how this child was conceived, the birthing pains that we've had to deal with, because this has been a journey. So.
Yeah, and then we'll like dive into like a little bit of our friendship lore, because she's been short, but like she's mighty. Oh, this friendship is strong.
No, let's get into it right now.
How did I even get into? I don't even remember how and why I wanted to join. Well, no. I was living on campus. I was lonely and bored. Had like no friends. We're just gonna be truthful. I had like no friends, and one of my friends, Zach, shout out Zach, he goes to Gainesville. He goes to UF, and they have a strike there, Strike Gainesville. And I was like, oh my god, that seems so cool. It's so fun. He's on the marketing team. He's now the marketing director. Hey, Diva. But I was like, oh, that seems so fun and so cool. And then like that, like a couple like weeks later, I found out that like FAU/Boca, we had one, and I was like, oh, so I have to join. But I didn't know. Oh, interesting lore. I don't even think you know this.
What?
I first wanted to join as a stylist.
Wait, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. When I first joined, like, I didn't know what I wanted to do because I was a biology major.
What? Oh my god, I didn't even know that. I thought you were always a multimedia journal. Guys, we have talked, like, every time we hang out, we talk for like 7 hours. Like, how did you not bring this up?
Yeah. I forgot to say, I was a biology major. I wanted to be a doctor for literally...
What? Morgan, this is crazy, because she talks about it like Carrie Bradshaw, so I thought like she's been like multimedialism journal. What?
But I have always wanted, deep down, I grew up watching the Carrie Diaries, which I don't know about the Carrie Diaries, the prequel to Sex and the City, but I watched Carrie Diaries, I was watching Bratz, I was watching like all this media about like journalists and stuff, and I was like, oh my god, that's so fun, like I kind of want to go into fashion, I wanted to do that. But then I was like, oh, but I should be a doctor, because like I feel like that's like what I'm an immigrant, guys. Okay. Firstborn child, like you would think like, oh.
Wait, that's what the way that Morgan and me are the same, like, girl, that's wild.
So I was a biology major, and I was still a biology major when I applied, and I was trying to figure out like what I wanted to do. And then
when did you change your major?
Like sophomore year. Yeah, first semester sophomore year. So I joined Strike second semester of my sophomore year.
Right.
And
so you just applied for content writer instead?
Yeah, because that's what I was like trying to figure it out, because initially my second semester freshman year, I was like, I need to change my major, and I was like, oh, I love music, I love making podcasts. I was like, oh, I want to be like a music curator for like TV shows and movies. And then I was like, no, I should like be a music journalist. So that's initially why I wanted to be a journalist. Is I was like, oh, I should be a music journalist. And then I like switched. I was like, I love fashion so much. Like, why don't I just like want to get into fashion journalism? So yeah, that's my lore. Applied to strike. And then here we are. Like, just did like content writer. Then I was web director. Now editorial and web. Like, yeah.
That's my boss.
That's the journey.
That's literally my boss.
That's the journey to me being like in strike, and now I literally like need to do this for the rest of my life. I love this job.
This is crazy. Like when we got to lore, I thought like I knew. Like that's crazy.
I was like, I don't think I've ever told.
She's like, actually, I was a biology major before this. Moving on. Like her. That's crazy.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I swear I told you.
No.
Honestly, I forget about that time. Freshman year, she's gone from my brain.
Yeah.
She's gone, I fear.
I get that.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I was a freshman and we had to do that whole orientation thing, sinister orientation at FAU.
They force you to do.
We like got broken up into groups of like people who were similar majors. And this one girl, I like don't think I should name her, but like she was, should I say? She was like okay, well, she was a fellow freshman, and I was stalking through the group me, and I looked up a name because I was like, and I saw that she had Strike Magazine Boca in her bio, and I also kept on seeing like Strike Magazine Boca in people's like bios, and I was like, magazine? Like, who's running a magazine here? Like, I didn't see this on any tablings. Like, where are y'all? So I wanted to apply, but I saw that the applications closed in May, and I was like, oh, we'll just have to wait till next time around. So I did, and then I got to be a content writer, and, you know, just from there, like, I loved it.
Yeah, so last semester, or spring semester, Kim and I met because she was in strike finally. After trials and tribulations, and I should have known our friendship, like, it took us a little while to become good friends.
It took us, like, it was, like,
too long.
Like, I think we only had, like, 3 weeks. I think we had, like, 3 weeks worth of pitches left before, like, it clicked. Okay, I think I should go into first how I thought of you.
I want to know because I don't know this.
Yeah, Morgan's been kind of teasing like what her first impressions of me were, but I haven't let anything go yet. So when we first went, like, we had that like general meeting in general South.
Yeah. With,
and
everybody.
We had to split off. Okay, I honestly dozed off, and they were like telling us like the heads of each team. So when they were like editorial, like it didn't click in my brain, like, oh, that's my team. So when we split off, I was like, wait, where do I go? Like I kind of zoned out. But I sat down, and like after we went through our intros, Miss Morgan's there in the back, and I'm like, okay, honestly, I stalked her Instagram before. because you were like on, and I saw what you were writing, and I was like, wait, this diva is literally me. Like, wait, what's going on? So I clicked on the ad of one of the articles, and I was like, web director, like, oh, she's a boss. So I stalked your shit before. I stalked your shit. After we did intros, Morgan, she turns around her phone and is like, is this you? And it was my Instagram page, and I was like, her? It was so funny because like literally we just told us name, major, year, and she's like, is this you? And I was like, yes, diva, that's me. And then the profile picture,
I'm a detective, mind you, but it was easy peasy to find it. But like truly, like if you need to find someone,
but like the way that Morgan in front of the whole editorial was like, is this you? Like, that killed me. I was like, oh, this diva is me. Like, you, like, no shame, no, like, holding back. And she was like, the profile picture was me at Renaissance. And she's like, was this Eras? And I was like...
I was either thinking about, like, Eras or Renaissance. So I was like, yeah, let me see which one it was.
So that was my tea. And then, like, we didn't really talk. And, like, her pictures were all great and, like, so me-coded. But I just never... Because, like, I'm very introverted, so we just never really clicked. So now you.
I feel like okay, so I'll get into it. But my first introduction of Kim was like, it was because there was only 2 new people to the team that like last semester, so I was like, okay, sure. And I didn't really have much. I was just like, I don't know. I was like, oh, she's so pretty, like fun slay. Like everyone coming in, I was like, they're so pretty. And I, like, honestly don't remember. I do just remember, like, pulling up your Instagram, because I was like, I need to find their Instagrams. Like, why haven't I followed them yet? Because I, like, follow new people, like, immediately, like, right away. And, yeah, I do remember being like, is this you? I do remember doing that. But I kind of was just like oblivious to it because then we split off and did like some like fun little like
Oh, we did a Kahoot.
yeah, like a teaser, like fun, like getting to know everybody on the team. And then the next thing I just remember is like the first meeting that we had, like for editorial, like separately. And I remember seeing your laptop and I peeped some of her stickers, like pleasing Harry Styles. And I was like, oh, she might be real.
She might.
And that was just it. And I remember one of your first, like, fast forward, because I just wasn't thinking too much about it. But, like, when we started pitching, oh, no. She pitched. Her first print pitch was something that was already written. So sad. But you pitched, like, the fangirl, like, something along the lines of, like, fangirls. And I was like, wait a minute.
Because the last
That's
issue
me.
was, like, Passions Lost and Found. So I was like, fangirl passion.
Yeah, really good.
Okay, guys, that's like a whole nother episode, but like after that, when everyone rejected my pitch, I was literally driving home, like about to crash my car. Like, I'm not even joking, guys.
She was ready to drop.
It bombed so bad.
No, it didn't bomb. It was
It
good.
bombed,
it was just because
guys.
it was written. So we were like, damn, like this is when it would have been really good for that issue too, but
No, that shit bombed. And I was literally like, I think I should quit strike. Like, I don't think I should be a writer. Like, I'm so serious.
no, but yeah, like that was it. Just like your sticker, your fangirl pitch, and that was it. And then just like fast forwarding, like you had those pitches at the pitch meetings. I was gonna say this earlier. At the pitch meetings, we would like vibe, I feel like, because you pitch like that like superhero. She said Smallville niche show.
No, that was crazy. I don't know why we didn't become friends after that.
Should have. She pitched
Crazy.
like something revolving around Smallville, and I was like, oh my god, I love that show. Like I've been seeing so many episodes like 3 weeks or
And I was
whatever.
like, you know that?
And
Oh,
she
and
was, like,
Ramin and Queen
gagged.
Ramin. Oh my
I
god.
miss her. But it was just so funny. And then it wasn't until she pitched an article, the infamous edits article, collab article. She pitched like this article about edits, and I was like, I was gonna pitch that. Like that was in my drafts. That had been in my drafts for like weeks. I think for like 2 issues I was in my drafts, and I was just like waiting because I felt like it was gonna be pitching time. Little did I know she was gonna sneak in and pitch my pitch. I was like, you want to write that together?
I literally used a word. You were like, I just used that in like by the pitch of my title. Like I literally just used that word, and I was like, okay. And she's like, do you want to write it together? And I was like, girl, diva, like sure.
No, I was like, I'm not letting that article go. Like I wanted to write that, so I was like, you want to write that together, please? She said yes. After that meeting, we just like stayed at Living Green, and literally, this was like magic.
Guys, this was insane. Like everyone left. Like even like the director girls who were meeting, like they left. We sat in those seats 5 ever.
We were there, and the way we were finishing each other's sentences, we were in each other's brains. First like full like conversation between the two of us.
Like besides this, we have not like been like, hey girl, like when we pull up at Living
barely
Green.
interacted until like this. Like we stayed after. We were just talking about like everything. Oh my, yeah, we're traumatized by something.
It was crazy. Like literally we were actually finishing each other's sentences, and like I would bring up like niche stuff. Like only a girl who's never offline knows, and she'd be like, oh yeah, like I already knew about that. And I was like, hello.
She was trying to think of something she could remember, and I was like, is it this? She was like, yeah.
It was crazy.
It was, yeah. And honestly, from that moment on, it was just like,
okay,
besties down. I fear like.
Should I bring up some beef I have with you?
Oh.
Okay, so me and Morgan, we like before like our first hangout was Challengers. We saw Challengers together. And after that, she was like, "Oh my god, we should hang out more." And I was like, "Diva, I'm leaving for Vietnam for 2 months."
She left. We had our fun little hangout. She leaves. No, but we went to a launch party together, and that was a lot of fun.
True.
That was our
launch
first,
was super fun. Oh yeah,
that
that's
was
right.
our first hangout. But then I was like, I want to see Challenges together, and then we saw Little Challenge like 2 days later.
True.
But then I was like, want to hang out this summer? And she was like, I'm leaving. I was like, okay.
Sorry, Diva.
Well, what's your beef?
So it's she knows. No way. Because when I came back, I was like, okay, like Diva, we haven't hung out for 2 months. Like, you can speak your piece at the end. Let me speak my piece. Let me pull up these crazy ass texts because
you can't go that far.
We have texted a lot.
We've texted so much you can't.
Okay, I might insert like a screenshot or something because like it was crazy. Okay, so Morgan, when I came back, I was like, "Hey girl, like I just came back from Vietnam finally. Like let's go hang out." I have to get the exact timestamps, but it's 2 weeks.
No, it wasn't.
Morgan, I swear to God. Let me pull up the it's either 1 week or 2 weeks before she's like, "I'm like, hey girl, I just saw this." For sure, let's hang out. And I was like, "Okay, Diva, like when do you want to hang out?" This lady leaves me. That time it was 2 weeks. It was another 2 weeks before she responded to me. And I was thinking in my head, like, y'all just know I just told you I was about to crash my car after my pitch failed. I was like, oh my God, I read this situation so wrong. Like, me and Morgan are actually not supposed to be friends right now. Like, Morgan is done with me. I was like, oh my God, I read this terribly. And then I'm gonna literally pass out. And then we meet at this like restaurant in the oh my God, and Morgan, when we're about to hang out and we finally have something planned after a month, she's like, "Hey girl, I actually have to cancel on you because I got a muscle spasm in my leg." Because I was walking. She said she had a muscle spasm in her leg. And I was like, oh, this bitch does not want to hang out with me. I was like, she literally, but I was like, it was so specific. I was like, she cannot be lying with me right now. But she literally was like, I got a muscle spasm. So sorry, I have to cancel on you. And we went to the restaurant. I was like, how's your leg, girl?
Okay, that was real. That was true. I would like to say I am the worst texter ever. And me being editorial director is really exposure therapy because I truly like texting is just so much for me. Someone literally like worst texter ever. Like there was like a 2-week period in summer, like a couple of weeks in summer. I was not talking to anybody. I was going on my walks, my daily walks. I was reading my books, listening to podcasts, listening to music. Like I was alone, truly alone in solitude. And so I just like, honestly, I felt so bad like to not text her back, but I was like, I really like Kim, like I want us to be like friends. So I finally texted her back, and then I don't even remember honestly how long.
You said that like you thought you texted me back, but you actually didn't.
Oh, I do that so I'm the worst.
I think that's what happened.
I do that a lot. I like because I will see it because I truly am never offline, but like sometimes I just mentally can't reply to people.
Okay, but so you can see there's 380 unread text messages in here.
That is like, that's different. That's because I'm in a bajillion group chats and I haven't even pressed into them.
Okay.
But I just like, yeah, I don't even know how much time passed. She's saying 2 weeks.
No, not thumbs up, because Morgan's texting is like double thumbs down.
I'm so sorry, but I'm good now. I'm better.
No, Morgan's really good at it.
Being editorial director is really like forcing me to be good. But yeah, anyways, I did have a muscle spasm because I was going on my walks too much, and then we hung out, went to this restaurant. Not good, I fear. And then we just became bestie boos. Like, oh, so that was our first hangout. Then we had a second hangout again, like a week later.
Yeah.
And this first hangout, we were together for like 5 hours, just yapping. And in my head, this is when the wheels were turning in my head. I was like, we're yapping a lot. This could be something. And so the next week, we like are hanging out again. And like towards the end of the hangout, I'm like, so would you want to be on the podcast? Because
she's like, I had this podcast lesson and I'm thinking about you as being my co. And I was like, oh my God. But I was like, I like saw the podcast before and I was like, wait, like I was thinking that too. I was
school
like,
dropout.
We talk
R.I.P.
We talk a lot. And I was like, girl,
we could really
we've already been talking for 20 minutes.
And then we were just trying to figure out like slowly just how you build a podcast, come up with a name, come up with a vibe, come up with the setup, which the
mics, guys, it's been like we have become like audio technicians at this point,
women in tech, truly, because the way back and forth bajillions of dollars spent,
doll hairs were spent.
Oh, it's been bad. But yeah, that was like, that's basically just making the podcast, like coming up with it just in my brain,
those were like
wheels turning.
the thing. So like when we had like a little meeting in Living Greens again, because Living Greens is like the spot for everything, so we were thinking about names, and we were like compiling a mood board of like things we would want for the logo. And we saw that we liked these like photo booth strips, if you know, like Booth by Bryant.
Oh, Booth by Bryant.
We wanted that vibe really bad for like our cover, promo, like anything.
Yeah.
So me and Morgan are like investigating where we can. Oh my gosh. Okay, before we preface, like we've been talking about this all day. When me and Morgan go into something like a little adventure, it has to be tumultuous. It has to be treacherous. It actually has to be like on the front lines of war.
It can't be easy peasy. It has to be incredibly hard. Like we just can't. Yeah,
nothing comes easy to us. So we're like, let's look up a photo booth. So Morgan looks it up, and the only one is like Bellows in Miami.
Bellows over there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we had to literally trek to Miami, 2 hours to Miami.
Yes,
because the only photo booth is them. It wasn't that bad. Driving there wasn't that bad. You were listening to our tunes. We had a Spotify jam.
Oh my gosh, we had like a meshed playlist, guys. I need to find the
Spotify jam. I think it was like 96%.
I'm gonna put it up on the screen, and it says your taste match is 96%. If you're not best friends, you should be.
Well, Spotify, don't you worry, because
it happened. Literally, our brain is literally 96%.
Like, I wonder what the 4% is. Like,
oh my god,
4% is probably just like songs we know and we just
didn't add
listen to, and we just don't like listen to it enough. I just know.
Oh my gosh, but in the car, at one point there was this like crazy rock music playing. And we were like, we both didn't say anything.
We didn't say anything for like 30 seconds. And I was like, what is this song?
And I was like, I don't know what it is. And she's like, I thought this was your song. And I was like, girl, I thought this was your song. I was like, I thought, I know me and Morgan the same, but I didn't know she was like a rocker girl at heart.
Turns out I was playing the wrong playlist actually for a good 30 minutes. I was playing the blend that I had with my coworkers, and one of them loves like heavy metal, screamo, rock. And so I was like, that makes so much sense. That's why we're listening to this right now. But yeah, heading to Bellows, so much fun listening to music. We get there, park, whatever. We get into the photo booth. Sitting on the couch is influencer girl
Santina. Mm-hmm. And I was talking about this with Morgan, and as you know, we're never offline. And I was like, girl, you know Santina, right? And she was like, kinda.
Like, I didn't know too much of the lore. Like, I did see her videos a lot with Dr. Miami, but I didn't, like, I knew she was with Bellows now, but it was like so, I don't know. I just wasn't thinking too much about it. But yeah, she's sitting on the couch. We go up to
I
the
was
person.
A bit starstruck. Oh, I was a bit starstruck, guys, but we'll get into it later.
And we go up to the person. We're like, hey, we'd like to use a photo booth. Thank God nobody's in there, because we
I don't know if it says there, but like it says to develop, it takes 5 minutes to develop each strip. And we're thinking, we go into this, okay, 2 strips for each of us.
Yes.
Then 2 strips for both of us.
Yes.
So I'm like, this is at least 20 minutes and just waiting.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one that we take is for both of us.
Yeah. And it takes forever. I wasn't timing it, but I just like at some point I just knew it was just gone over. I think we were waiting for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I finally go up to the girl at the desk and I'm like, hey, so the photo booth is not coming out. She goes to check it, and it got like trapped in their like thing because someone else left their photo booth, or it got trapped in there too, and they didn't ask for it. So they just left their $5. Oh, mind you, each strip is worth $5, but we won't go into too much into that. But anyways, yeah, the person had left their strip in there, so it messed up ours. It was like crumpled, but that's not even the problem that it was crumpled. It was that it was so dark. And you know what? I've just ignored it. I don't care that much. It's like, it doesn't bug me too much, but like it was just so dark. And we did another one. This one actually did take the 5 minutes this time. It was quick.
Right.
And it was still dark, and it was just like, I was just ignoring it at this point. And then Santina's so kind. She like we're trying to like change like do some things, put a flashlight on, open a curtain a certain way.
Right. Like we were trying to get like any type of light, because the first woman who like opened it for us was like the eye is completely open, so that's like the best brightness you can get. So Santina luckily paid for one of Morgan's like solo strips, so that was really nice of her. And so we were just really struggling the whole day. And then what else should we talk about?
And finally, after being there for like 3 hours, I think, we got all the strips that we needed and more.
But we need to talk about how it was one of our last strips we were taking. I think it was together, and I think our photo strip got stuck again, and we had to get this other woman to help us. And she opened it, and she was like, "Do you guys want me to brighten it more?" Keep in mind, we were there for 2 hours, and we were like mulling over how dark the photos. And for Morgan, it was like so dark, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is terrible." And we spent a bag in there. We spent a bag. So we were like, Morgan was like, "You can turn it up more."
I was gonna like crash out.
No, literally.
I was actually gonna.
She was like, "Oh wait, never mind. It's actually the eyes up all the way." And we were like, "Huh?"
I was actually gonna crash out and be like, "We just paid $1 bajillion and it's so dark, and you could have just." But she said that it was, and I was like, okay. I was like, okay, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. I don't mind.
It's okay.
Yeah.
The mood flip was crazy. She's like, "Okay, it's fine. Like, don't worry about it."
I was ready to go. There's people coming in finally after we'd been in there for like 3 hours. No one was coming in to take the photo booth. As soon as we're leaving, people are coming in, and I was like, yeah, it's time for
there
us
was
to go.
fully a man sleeping on that on a purple couch in there. Like, he was like, there was a pillow between this man's legs, pillow underneath the hands,
having a nap.
And we were like,
I was about to join in because I was so tired. We'd been in there for 3 hours. But yeah, so after being there for 3 hours, we head outside, and it's like basically nighttime, but rain clouds are coming in.
No, it was serious.
I was like, oh, we're about to head into a thunderstorm. And we did, because driving, we were just having our grand old time, listening to our tunes. Rain is like pouring down.
Wait, are you gonna talk about it?
We were getting into the lore of one of our favorite words, one of our favorite phrases that we say a lot, and you will be hearing it a lot.
Okay, so basically, I was like, Morgan was saying things about like how she would say a lot of words from me. Like, one word I like to say is sinister a lot. So like, she's like, "I've been saying sinister so much," and I'm like, "Oh my god!" Like, another word we've been saying so much is baddie shot o'clock. Baddie shot o'clock. So if you're a Bad Girls Club fan or know about the infamous Natalie Nunn, you know that's her like catchphrase when she's like, "It's time for the girls to take an alcoholic shot." But I use it as like verb, noun, descriptor, anything. So like baddie shot o'clock could be like a hot person. Baddie shot o'clock could be like
an
fun
emotion,
time,
a feeling,
everything. So I'm pulling up the video to show Morgan like how Natalie says it.
Yeah.
And again, it's like fully raining, pouring, like tropical storm.
A huge truck, whatever the heck, but truck beds, I don't know what they're called, an SUV truck, whatever. A truck is like behind us, because we're in the express lane, mind you. So the express lane is going quick, fast, and he's exiting the express lane, and I guess there's like this huge huge puddle. Like, it's zooming
like 70 miles per hour.
The puddle flashes, and the whole
the whole windshield is obstructed. Like, we can't see
for maybe 3 seconds.
And I swear to God, it went silent. For you, did it go silent? Because it felt like the music turned off, and
I thought that we died.
I swear, like, it went silent. I felt like we were gonna go see the heaven gates.
I thought that we died.
I thought we died too.
I literally, like, I could not see. I knew there was a car. Like, I like to keep distance between me and the car head just in case things like this happen. So I was like, I put my foot on I just like acted like instinct real quick, but my heart sank. I thought I was dead. I'm not kidding. I thought I died. I literally, the whole windshield was just like, it was also just like, the sun was also trying to peek through too. It was like dusk a little bit, so it wasn't like completely dark, and it was just like a gray, like light wash of just water on the
and it was
windshield.
loud when it hit the windshield. It was loud.
Yes.
And it was crazy. Like I was like, because I was like, okay, either like this rain is gonna take us out, or like we're gonna hit the car in front of us and we're dead.
Oh my gosh, that was our first near-death experience together, and honestly I think more is coming.
More just came. Like every time we hang out, like it's like either like a monk level test of patience or like a near-death experience.
Yes.
It's tragic.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, literally like after, she still showed me the Batty shot clock.
Okay,
after,
like life
'cause
has
I
to
didn't
go
know.
on.
Yeah. I was like super excited. I was like, still show me Batty shot clock, like what is going on. But yeah, that was a moment. Terrifying. I wouldn't recommend that for anybody. Yeah, we were just driving home, listening to our tunes, yapping about.
Yeah, we were talking like nothing happened.
Nothing
anyway,
happened.
So,
like
it
we
was
were like,
fine.
it's fine. But thinking back to it, I'm like, whoa, what a time. What a time.
Crazy.
We were going through it. We didn't know. The audio was messing up. As we said, this is our second microphone pack. But women in tech. Now we've got it figured out. Cutie patootie. And more episodes coming your way.
It's gonna be really fun and exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Should we tell them what our next episode is?
Oh, yeah. We went to a tailgate.
Oh, it's yeah. It's gonna be my first tailgate and your second tailgate.
No, babe. This is like my 5th tailgate.
But one in a long time for her.
Time. Yeah. It's basically a joint trauma dump. So stay tuned for that, especially because it's 2 introvert girls going to a tailgate. Insane, crazy, scary.
And obviously, as you can tell, like
We
every
like to stay
experience,
inside.
yeah, and every experience needs to be tumultuous. So it'll be something fun for you guys to listen to.
Anyways, that's it. That is how we met. The podcast traumatic.
How we birthed this
experiences.
child. The conception was at City Place when you asked me
Yes.
to join.
City Place in West Palm Beach.
Like
The parking garage.
The trimesters were like us getting the name and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Birthing was bellows and these mics.
Yeah.
Painful,
Mm-hmm.
tumultuous. No, we had no epidural, no nothing. It was serious, guys.
And now you're out into the world. But yes, thank you so much for listening to our very first episode of Never Offline. I am so excited for this podcast.
Me
It's
too.
just 2 girls yapping. We're going to talk about anything and everything, what's going on in pop culture, what has gone on in pop culture, what we want to see happen in pop culture, and
Our personal
Our-
lore is coming very soon.
Personal
so
lore.
if you want to get to know us better, you'll be getting it in a lot.
mm-hmm. But yeah,
Thank you guys. We're like so excited. So
I know we're like,
we hope you love our child as much as we do because we love it.
yes. Yeah, we'll see you for the next episode.
Stay tuned.
Bye.
Bye, guys.